Hi, everyone. Hello, bonjour, ciao, oi, all of it, hola. Yes, Paola, the Italian Zoom is posted in the chat right here. I will do that again. So just zoom up, look up, and you'll see the information for each Zoom. Okay, and you can also contact Loredana directly. So yes, we have this call, all of your fantastical awareness and how it can contribute to your money flows. What? I'm so excited. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining all of the fantastical creatures that are on live and that will listen to this later on. Can you perceive all of this energy? It's not like there's any charge at all for money, right? And with money. We don't have any interesting points of views about money, correct? And once again, if you have any questions, go ahead and post it in the chat or send it to your translator and they will give it to me. People already sent in questions with their registration. So I'm going to start with those questions. And that's actually totally congruent with where I wanted to start. The first question, I'm going to put it here for us to look at, is simply, what is creating? There's actually 3 parts to this question here, but what is creating? So I'm going to put that in the chat, and you can go ahead and let us know what comes up for you. Type it in the chat and see. Ooh, that kind of wonked up the link. Let's do it again. You can put what comes up for you while I address this. And I'm also going to introduce the Fantastical Creature classes. So this class is very different than some of the other ones that you might be on. I created this types of classes, this tour with Sailor Shining Star, who has since left as a co-creator, but is still very much a contributor in the play space that maybe some of you maybe have found us through and found out about this event through. This type of classes, these fantastical classes, we spell it with a PH, in English at least, because in English, phantom is spelled with a PH, and it embodies the seen and unseen energies around us and within us. The things that we're willing to acknowledge and perceive and receive about ourselves, and the things that we're willing to acknowledge and perceive and receive about everything and everyone else. And then it is fantastic. And so we have the fantastical, and then the all, to, todo, right? In whatever language you would like to say it, is all of you. To make sure that you include all of you and not just this dialed down or watered down version of you, an exuberant version of you where you really shine out. And so these classes are so many different topics. Some of you have taken our Fantastical Voice and Dating class. Some of you have looked at our Family and Money class, the Shamanic Journeying. We've looked at Choosing It All Your Way. We have body process classes of Access Consciousness. We have some other body process classes as well, some of which I've created that we'll be playing with in France. And part of me choosing it all my way, me being exuberantly out there with my business, is to invite as many people that are willing to be fantastical their way, to really play more with all of the energies that are at our disposal all of the time. All of the bodies that are available to us all of the time, even if they're not in the physical space with us right now. Even if they don't necessarily have a corporal or physical body, but they maybe once had a body. And we can play with those fantastical creatures, those energies, and those entities if we're willing. So the fantastical creature play space, if you've been playing in there, and the classes combine many modalities, a variety of systems of tools. It's from people all over the world, different languages. We've had, or some of our calls have been translated into Spanish and Czech as well. So if you're interested in that or know anyone that would like this class or any other class that I've mentioned and maybe haven't mentioned, because there's been many in those languages, let us know. But it's really about using your awareness of all of these energies, all of these bodies, and all of these people, creatures, to your advantage. I'd love to start off, in addition to introducing the classes, I'd love to start off by acknowledging all of the interesting, sometimes horrific, for some people traumatic, others dangerous, and very intense energies that have been going on around the world. And that's been going on for a while, but I've been getting the most messages I've ever gotten from clients and friends and families this week about the earthquakes in Puerto Rico. I'm a half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. So I'd love to acknowledge all of that energy that's here with us. All of the creatures, both those that look like humans and those that are unseen, that are part of that and being impacted by that. And what's going on in Australia and has been for the last couple of months. In the card readings that we did this week in the Phantastical Creature Play Space, many people mentioned, well, what can I do to contribute to something else showing up in the world? What can I be with all of this? How can I have more ease with all of this? And you might wonder, well, how does this connect to money? How does this connect with revenue and business? Well, how much more could you contribute? And how much more could you create if you had more money? If you allowed that money to come to you in all of the infinite ways it can come to you. Through all of the seen and unseen fantastical creatures that are talking to you or whispering. Hey, I'm willing. I'd like to give you some money. You want it? No? Oh, okay. But I'm willing. The other piece is if we're also willing to be aware of all of the bodies that are talking to us, including this amazing planet, this earth body, this celestial body that is constantly contributing to us, not only in energetic awareness and nurturing. A lot of the money comes from the earth. So what if you could acknowledge your gifts and capacities with the earth, where you're already communicating with the earth, and ask the earth, hey, I got you. I have your back. I acknowledge that I am contributing to you with my choices, that I'm creating something with my no choices, and let me know clearly with ease what else I can do, what else I can be, and what else I can create with you. So this is all connected, everyone. Everything that you're aware of and you have been aware of in any moment of your life, in any lifetime, It's influencing your money flows right now. So the first question, okay, what is creating? Such a simple yet such a big question for so many of us. It's to actually be willing to be aware of all of these energies in us, because we are all of these energies. All of the bodies and all of the tools that are available to you. So I love that there are people in our play space and that have been contributing to the worldwide classes who play with so many different tools, some of which I've been talking about and introducing in the classes, and some of which I haven't played with, or at least not in this life. And I love learning about these other tools because I'm always like, what else? What else? What else? I want to be aware of all of the systems, all of the tools. And so how many of you, when you start playing with one system or one modality, you start receiving information in a certain way, maybe through hearing things, maybe through the auras and colors, you start focusing so much on that system, so much on that way of receiving, that you start cutting off all the other ones. I did it. I totally did it. So I'm not saying this as in like, oh, I'm so superior and I've like never done this. Like, I check myself all the time on where I'm doing this. And one of the things I love about my team and my crew here, the people with bodies and those without bodies, is that they're constantly reminding me, hello, what about this? And what about this? And what about that? It's like, oh yeah, I do know theta healing. Oh yes, let's play with shamanic energies. Oh my gosh, access consciousness is amazing. Hey, how about Reiki? Hey, how about, I mean, there's so many things out there that can contribute to us giving a piece, getting different pieces of our awareness, or having another layer to our awareness. Or when some of them come together, they increase it and have it shine out even brighter. It's there. It's already there. And then it goes, whoa. So where are you not creating fantastically your way? Where is it that, hey, I used to have these tools, I used to play with these energies, and I've kind of turned my back on them? And what if you could turn again and be like, hey, and just say hi. And it's not that you're going to use all of them all of the time or be all of them in the way that it's like, oh, I'm going to do card reading with shamanic energy with theta all at the same time, even though I'm pretty sure that's what I did this week. But I asked before I stepped in with the cards, and I was like, okay, what are all of the different tools that would like to be here with this reading? And what are all the different fantastical creatures that would like to contribute? And it just so happened that it was animal medicine cards that we were reading with. But it could have been any deck of cards. For those of you that love doing card readings, you get what I mean, right? Each of them kind of call to you at different times. And you can switch. It's like, oh, it's just like a deck of cards. You go, okay, I'm going to turn to the deck of theta. I'm going to turn to the deck of Reiki. I'm going to turn now to the deck of access. They're just different cards and different tools in your toolbox. Yeah. So that's the first question that was sent in. Please feel free to comment in the chat. I'm looking in the chat and I'm going to pull up the other questions that were sent in. How do you know what to create? Great question. It's actually, I'm going to put both. Okay, there's how do you know what to create, and what do you create if you hate business? Oh, that doesn't apply to anybody else. Oh, thank you for sending in that question. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, let's start with that. I laugh because I resisted business a lot. I resisted business in a fantastical way for at least 5 years when I first did my like professional business. You know, I am continue to be a speech language pathologist and learning behavioral specialist. I slow down when I say this because I know it's a mouthful for my translators. It's a mouthful for me. And a feeding therapist. And so I see children and families online, in person, in the schools, to work on communication, to work on behavior, things like that, and so much more. And here's the thing. I kept it over here. I kept it to the side. And then I had Reiki. I started playing with Reiki and shamanism. And I kept that over here. And I would not let them cross over. I wouldn't acknowledge where they were crossing over, to be more accurate, you know? Because your body's still with you when you're doing these things and you tell yourself, hey, they're separate, right? No. So cute. No. So very quickly, I was asked by my speech and language and behavior clients, hey, do you have anything else I can do for my child? Or, you know, I'm really stressed out. Do you recommend anything else? And I said, well, I do this weird, crazy, different stuff that works really well that you might want to try. It may or may not be for you, but if you want, we can talk about it. And some of them were like, yeah. And some of them were like, eh. But maybe, right? And some of them were like, which is some of the times was a no, some of the time was like a let me just sit with this, right? Some of you might be getting this from some of your potential clients or current clients, which is fine, right? All of those are valid and more. And what it started inviting me to do, and what I would love to invite each and every one of you to do so that you can receive even more money, is to see what aspects of your business are already blending and mixing and playing together, and which aspects of your business you've separated and compartmentalized so dynamically that even if they could play more, you're stopping it. So what showed up when I started actually mentioning this crazy different stuff that I did over here to the people on the other side over here is so much more progress happened with my clients. And it wasn't really, I acknowledge now, it wasn't really because of any one thing. It's all of a sudden the walls came down within me, and the clients and the families perceived that, and they received more too. They were, by me choosing first to not have the separation, to not divide things up into, okay, this is the speech series, and this is the Reiki series, and this is the theta series, and this is the and this is the daughter series, and this is the business owner series, whatever those roles that you're using. It isn't just with brick and mortar business or online businesses. It's the business of your living we're talking about here that can make you money. As soon as all of those walls, definitions, labels, I was like, I'm going to be me even more everywhere and bring all of this toolbox with me no matter where I am, with dating, with family, with business, all of the businesses, right? With relationships, and oh my goodness, with my health. It was a freaking game changer with my health. And some of you know what I'm talking about with that and the journey I went through with my health. So where are you separating the different pieces of you, and therefore it's cutting off your money? Because all of a sudden these clients were not just speech clients. Some of them were speech and the energetic. Some of them were the energetic first, and then they went and said, oh, you do speech and language and behavior? Cool. And some of them stayed, oh, I just want to do this, or I just want to do that. But because I stopped limiting myself, even now, the clients that I see where it's mostly just speech and language, I refer to them to different videos, different people, different books and resources that I wouldn't have dared to mention before, because I was so invested in keeping this world separate. And now they're like, this is kind of different, but we kind of like that you're different, and we may or may not read it. I had someone that I recommended a book, the Would You Teach a Fish to Climb a Tree book. Have y'all read it? If you haven't, please do, like yesterday. Like, I read it repeatedly. It's amazing. And it's written by Dr. Dane Heer and Gary Douglas and Ann Maxwell. Wonderful book. And I mention it to my speech and language clients. And some of them, it takes them years before they open it. I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. Years. But you plant that seed. And people choose it when they choose it. And me choosing to mention it opened to something up in them, and opens up something with me and my business and my money. It increases my receiving. I'm willing to receive their interesting point of view and their judgment about, oh, well, she's kind of crazy and different. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Are you willing to receive that judgment? And people come to you and ask you questions because you're crazy and different, because you're you in your own unique way, which is going to be different than how I am with business and money, right? We each are going to be a little bit different and have different gifts and capacities with this. So please know that I'm not telling you to do it at all the way I've done it, except the whole walls down. Mix it up a little bit. Shake it up. I really wanted to see my translators shaking like that, but they're used to me now. So they're like, that's Siris, she's shaking stuff. We're just gonna ignore that and translate. It's fine. My body likes movement. Go figure. That makes me money too. So what do you create if you hate business? Well, here's the thing. A lot of us hate business because we're thinking business is a particular way. We've defined it as a certain rigid thing, many of which has a lot of those walls up that I was just talking about. And as soon as we added in the joy, as soon as we add in the movement, the art, the whatever it is, and all the other aspects of the business of our living that we love, to the ones that we're like, about, the aspects that we're like, not so fun about, that makes us money. That joy, first the joy is there and the money comes. So the more joy you can put into your business and put into the creation and generation of money, the receiving of that money, ooh, more money, more money, more money. All right. So some examples of how this can look like. Because people are like, what are you saying here? You're most welcome, Marie. Is it Marie? Yeah, I think, yeah, Marie. I agree, Victor. Yes. It's and so again, thank you for sending these questions in, because it's a lot of times we're asking these questions, and it's for us, and it's also for all the other people that we're aware of that could benefit from some of these ideas and tools, right? You know, that's the other part. So sometimes I'm in a class and I find myself to be almost a sound piece for everyone when I'm a participant, and even more when I'm the facilitator, right? But please acknowledge that even as a participant, How much are you speaking for you and for other people, other bodies, those seen and unseen? Okay. And what if by acknowledging it, that you're doing that and being that and such a wonderful contribution, that could make you more money? I have someone who, you know, actually gets paid to be in different Facebook groups and generate posts and comment, and because they would do that anyway. They love it. That's joyful for them, that engagement. Okay? And so they've actually, instead of being like, oh well, you know, I'm on all these groups and I'm not really seeing how it makes me money, and gosh, this is just kind of frustrating. I love it, but like, where's the money in this? What if you asked, where's the money in that? So she started then asking people, hey, I'm in your group. I get that I'm contributing. I love it. I love what you're providing in this group. Is there something we can agree upon between the two of us that is some kind of compensation for my engagement, for me stimulating these conversations in your group? And not everyone's going to say yes, but some people might, right? Many of you are very engaging in the play space. Have you considered that? Because you're probably in multiple groups. That's a way of having money, that's just you being you and having fun. It doesn't have to look any particular way. I invite most of my clients to start with a joy list. And I think some of you may have gotten the email that I sent out a couple weeks ago about this. And if you haven't, please let me know. If you'd like it, I can resend it. And if you need it translated, we can make sure to get it translated. But basically, it guides you through some questions to ask to actually know what brings joy to your life. You know, one of my friends on here, we were driving around, and I asked, hey, what brings joy to your life? And could not answer the question at all. Total blank about anything that didn't have to do with helping other people, being around other people, doing. And it's not that you don't want to include that in your joy list, but you want also have the things where it's, hey, I woke up today, what's going to light me up with or without people? What smells bring you joy? What tastes bring you joy? I have this really yummy coffee kind of calling to me right now, actually, as I say this. It's like, more of that. What colors and textures bring you joy? You know, look at all of the different senses with this. What touch? What brings you joy? And you think that it'd be so simple, but a lot of people cannot come up with more than like 5 things. I recommend for you to start with at least 20. When I first started, I was one of those people. I could not come up with more than 5 things. So please don't judge yourself for wherever you're at with this joy list. Okay? And then, okay, here you are. You have a joy list. You're willing to have more joy with money and with business and with your life. Yes, awesome. Now what? Well, you start choosing that and adding it in to the places and spaces that you're creating money in, that you're running your businesses from. If you're on the go all the time in your clothing too, if it's a certain color, right? The teal, I love teal and sea colors. I don't have it on today. That's not what my body and business told me to wear today, so I didn't. But y'all have seen me. I have green hair. You just can't tell with this lighting right now. It's pretty dark green. You see these little things that I'm like, it helps me show up even more as me. It reminds me what's true for me, which is joy and fun and abundance. So the money keeps showing up in all these different ways. Okay? Add it in. Any questions about that? Oh, we see some more people on. I have it in a view that I don't get to see everyone at once. Hi, hi, hi. And translators, are there any questions from your people? Okay. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. So here's the piece that I'd like to end with today. When you're actually willing to have all that's fantastically you, with receiving money and also with receiving all of this awareness even more with ease. Because a lot of us are just like, oh, it's going to be so painful. It's going to be so intense. And it has been for many of us, not just this week, right? Woo! Let's acknowledge that. Whew! Okay. Oh, love and kisses. Thank you for saying that in the chat. Just wanted you to know that you made me cry with joy. Thank you. When you're willing to be more joyful with money and be really nonlinear and chaotic with it too, that's the part of it. Joy isn't something linear. It's not, okay, even as I'm saying, hey, you're going to make a joy list and you're going to choose to add more of it into your business. I'm not saying, okay, first that, then this certain amount of money, and then this and this, and go in this line. That's not at all what I'm saying, because that's also limiting your money. I'm actually saying be so exuberantly you, so joyfully you with money and business that it goes and there isn't you might not even be able to keep track of where it's all flowing in, from free dinners and vacations, winning raffles, winning. I have a friend of mine that goes to the casino before every class and gets the amount of money that they need, exactly the amount, including all of their travel. They're like, I'd like this, universe. What would it take? Go to the casino, and boom, there's the money. So, but that willingness to have it show up and just know that it will take some practice for many of us. We haven't been told that joy is possible with living, with money, and with business. We haven't been told it's possible with bodies. And so if you ever find it to be a bit tricky to be joyful, I get it. I get it. There have been many moments this week where that was very, very challenging for me. And then you go and you can go to your joy list again. You're like, man, this is intense. Ah, what could I choose from here? Even if it's that sip of coffee, even if it's going and looking at something beautiful. Like I have my beautiful turtle that I love looking at when I'm working. Some of you have seen that turtle and Sammy in my videos, right? What is it that would help you, even if it's just a smaller step, just one little nudge or tweak out of the heavy and into what's true for you, that joy? And then how much more easy would it be then to have the ideas for what else to do with your business and what else you can choose to make money when you are in and being that space? Make sense? Yeah, awesome. So unless there's any other questions, I'd love to invite each and every one of you to play in the Fantastical Creatures play space if you're not already in the play space. It is a free Facebook group where I do different videos, or we have different, all the fantastical creatures are posting in different ways in there, be it comments or their own videos and images. We have a beautiful shamanism group that Severin is hosting that is an offshoot of the Fantastical Creature Play Space that's for the Francophone people. So maybe you're familiar with that. And if you're not, definitely would highly recommend you checking it out if you would like to have everything translated with ease for you. And I'm going to put that link here in the chat for those of you that are on here. And we're going to have classes this month, starting the 31st of this month, in Italy. So there's going to be a combination of classes there. We have access consciousness body process classes. We have the intimacy as you as a fantastical creature, which will be talking about being more present, intimate, and enlivened with your body in order to have a life that you'd actually be lit up and excited to live, where you are like, oh wow, I get to live this life. This is awesome. And yes, there are people who are asking about the sexual and the relationship part of it. And if we go there, it's because you guys are asking for it, and I'm totally willing to go there. But being intimate with yourself and with the energies around you does not require copulation and sex, even though we've been told that. And so many of us have been cutting off some of these energies of sexualness within our bodies and this flirtation and fun and dating with ourselves and with others, because we're kind of mixing all that up when it doesn't have to be all together. It's a choice if we want to add that in or not, if we choose to do that or not with people. Or at least it's a choice for me. Hopefully it's a choice for you. So we are also going to have a facelift class and a whole day available for private sessions with me and some of our wonderful facilitators that are hosting the class. Severine Latour, Loredana Gaspari, and Viviana Massini are all going to be there and available to provide facelift sessions, but also any other sessions that you'd like to have with them and with myself. So really love really playing with all these different contributors and hosts. It's not just about me, y'all. This is really about all of us coming out of hiding to really embrace us being fantastical in each of our unique ways. We are going to have Italy this month, and then we'll be in France in September, and we're looking at maybe some other dates for Italy potentially this summer as well. We have some dates for the UK, for the United Kingdom, and that continues to morph. And so as soon as we have those finalized, we will let you know if you are in the United Kingdom. But you don't have to wait for any of those finalized dates. You can come and play in Italy in January and February, right around the corner now, and also in these online classes. In addition to that, we have the Money Your Way group, which this entire month is free. So you get to have access to all of the content from the beginning of the Money Your Way that has been, gosh, it started in September. And so you can have access to all of the tools, the visual organizers, the audios and clearings and things that we have in there. It's been a weekly posting since then. So, 4 videos a month, and you can play with those. And then you can choose to continue for $25 US a month if you choose it by February 1st. After that, the price goes up. So if that interests you, you can let us know and we can send you the information about that. And then lastly, we're going to have another card reading in the play space this upcoming Monday. And what's not in English? Yes, that one isn't in English, correct. That's for the Francophones. But the entire play space, the entire tour in English, and all of the details are actually at empoweringlightlanguage.com/fantastical creature tour. And I'm putting that link. Empowering language, I typed it right. Yeah. That's the link for that one. And so if you go there, you're going to see all of the classes. Every time we keep updating and changing information in there, you'll see it. And the Italy classes are there as well. The Italy classes is just empoweringlightlanguage.com/Italy. So feel free to check it out. If you know anyone that would like to come play, let us know. We have Severine translating in French for us there in Italy, and we have Loredana translating for Italian. I'll be speaking in English most of the time. Knowing me, I like playing in all the other languages. So as a courtesy to the translators, I mostly speak in English. But they also speak a lot of other languages, which is fun, and they enjoy language. So yeah. Okay, the first link is not, I will send it to you directly, and you will also, when each and every one of you will be getting the replay of this by email, when the email that you registered by, So with that email, I will also include the links to the tour and to the play space and the Money Your Way group. Okay. So I'm sorry if those links aren't working. You might have to add in www in front of it. I did it really quickly right now. Yeah. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. And for those of you that are listening to this later on, feel free to send questions directly to me or through your translators, and they will get it to me to address as soon as possible. I really appreciate you being willing to look at this in more depth and really consider what being fantastical with money can look like for you and be like for you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are.